Hello, Albuquerque, and welcome to episode 6 of Ring Awareness. I am your host, Adam Merrick, and I'm stoked that you guys have taken the time out of your day to listen to me. I'm very excited for today's show. And as I said many episodes before, I like doing this show because I like learning new things about the talent, the fans of New Mexico. And every show I've had, from Josh Payne all the way to my last show with Turbo Tony Davis, I've learned something new. And today is definitely, we're going on that same path because my guest is one gentleman that I know everybody has a lot of questions for, and he's going to teach us a lot here on today's episode. Guys, give it up for Super Chaos.
How's it going?
Hey, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and doing Ring Awareness. I know weekends are a rare thing for you to have off, so I definitely appreciate you coming down and talking with me today. Pretty much, I know you got a lot going on. There's a lot of questions we have for you today. Pretty much, the question I like to start with is the beginning. What made you become a pro wrestling fan? What was it that inspired you to do this as a career?
Well, I don't know. I've always wanted to do it.
Really?
I've watched it since I was a kid, since I could remember. And I always said, I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a wrestler.
Nice. Was there somebody in particular that you liked watching? And was there a moment, Foley always says his moment was watching Snuka jump off the cage. Did you have that moment?
I don't remember anything like that. It's just, the one person was like The Rock, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit.
Yeah. It's cool to say Chris Benoit.
But yeah, those guys, just watching those guys, just like, I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
Nice. So you started really watching around the time. It seems like everybody has the same time frame when they started watching wrestling, kind of during the Attitude Era, during the beginning of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's around the time I was like around middle school. Getting into middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was all into it.
Nice. And I'm sure you were a lot, like, again, myself, I kind of did the same thing. You kind of went back and forth watching during Monday Night Wars, doing Raw, Nitro, going back and forth. You mentioned Eddie Guerrero, obviously was in WCW at the time. One of my favorite Eddie Guerrero matches I know is Halloween Havoc. I believe it was 97, where he fought Rey Mysterio for the Cruiser. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
an awesome match.
Great match. And I actually just saw that match recently. Again, watching the WWE Network, which is a great thing. And it's great, dude. I love kind of getting off track here, but just being onto the network. I know you just told me that you do have the network.
Yes.
As far as a wrestler standpoint, how awesome is this new service?
Dude, it's great. You get to study everyone. Like, you can look anyone up and just study old tapes. I mean, like, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love it. And it's really cool just to see all that stuff. Even stuff I didn't know before. Watching the older stuff, before I became a wrestling fan in like 97-ish, go back and watch stuff that guys did previously.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a great service, man. I like it. So as far, it's awesome to hear that, wrestlers are kind of in the same boat as us fans who love it and are getting some good use of it, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you decided to become a wrestler, and you've been, roughly how long ago was it that you began training?
It was 7 years ago.
Okay.
I was leaving a grocery store.
Oh, really?
And I found a flyer that said, "Do you want to be a pro wrestler?" I was like, bam, grabbed it. Called the number, and it was Dylan Stone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, called him up, went, and me and him actually trained like 4 months straight every single day.
Did you really?
Yeah, every day we were out there training. And like he had been training for like 2 years already.
Okay.
And he had been going down to Hurricane Hector's school in El Paso.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, hey, I want to go down there. I knew who he was. I was like, yeah, I want to go down there.
Nice.
So we would go every once in a while, since money was tight and everything back then.
Of course.
Like, we would go on a Monday, train, sleep like in the car or on his floor, leave, hang out Tuesday, train on a Wednesday, and then come back home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was hard.
So roughly how long ago was this, as far as what year was this that you were training?
2006 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Around that time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you kind of you saw the flyer in the grocery store, and you kind of stopped everything to contact Dylan
Oh yeah.
and eventually begin your career, begin training for your career in
Oh
wrestling.
yeah, definitely.
So how difficult was it as far as dropping? I mean, I'm sure obviously you had a lot of stuff going on at that time. Was it difficult for you to just stop everything and 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 do this?
No, no.
Is there some
That's what I wanted to do, so I was
right?
like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how long? So you were going between? Were you going back and forth between El Paso?
We would probably went like, I think we went like 4 or 5 times down there.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too much, but I mean the training was the exact same thing
Was
with
it?
Dylan, because he ran the class like exactly to the T.
Oh, did
Like,
he really?
Yeah,
As
same
what?
thing.
Oh, nice. As far as what Hurricane Hector would do.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. So how did you have a lot of other students, a lot of other trainees training with you guys?
No, I was the only one.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, like there was another guy. His name was Sean, but he went by Nick A. Demas. He had already trained as well, but he would come down and train with us.
Oh,
So
cool.
he was already trained, and yeah, like he came down. Dylan's brother was also a wrestler.
Okay.
So it would be us four just training all the time.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
And how long were you training until you eventually had your first match?
And the bad part was Albuquerque has nothing. There's no
Right.
wrestling in Albuquerque.
Of course, breaking
So,
news.
yeah. So I had to wait like a year and a half before I could actually have a match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was ready. I was like, I want to wrestle. I want to wrestle.
Right.
And then finally, it was a promotion in El Paso. It was Lucha Caliente.
Oh, okay.
They called us up, and yeah, I had my first match against Texas Outlaw.
Texas Outlaw.
Yes. He was like a really big version of me. It was weird.
Oh, really?
Yes. He had my face, but on a big body. That's crazy.
That's cool. Whatever happened to Texas Outlaw?
I actually ran into him. It was a month ago.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, and he wasn't wrestling anymore, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but he's still out there in El Paso.
Oh, nice. So this was roughly around 2007 when you had your first match about?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you've been wrestling now for going on about 7 years, and has it been everything you had hoped it would have been when you first before you began training? Everything that you envisioned it would be?
No.
Not at all.
No, like when I first started, like it was awesome training and stuff, but then it was like around the second year that I was actually wrestling. We were actually running shows here in town.
Okay.
Cowboys. Well, we weren't. It was a promoter named Alex Walls.
I've heard that name. Yeah.
Yes. Awful. Sorry. No, like those shows were just. We were running every week, and I don't know. I think I just got burned out.
Oh yeah.
And I was just having terrible matches. Like it was just awful.
I think I did remember seeing, because you guys did a public access show, right?
Yes, yes.
And I remember it was like on Sundays at like 2 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think I probably caught a little bit of it. It was just on like a weird time for me. But I do remember hearing about it. I do remember seeing maybe an episode or two. So, what was the name of the promotion? I totally forgot.
All-Star Wrestling.
There you go.
Yes.
And you guys actually had quite a decent following because you guys had a TV deal. And then you guys, I remember you guys had a spot in the Alibi.
Yes.
Because I remember there being, I think I actually may even have that copy of the Alibi still. So it was a lot, and I think eventually, as everything with New Mexico Wrestling, it did get shut down. Was it because of that, kind of that publicity with the public access?
Yes. Because the athletic commission came down. But because we were doing them legal. Like he was getting the athletic commission to come down. We were getting doctors there.
Oh, were you really?
Everything. We were following all the rules.
Okay.
And then they just decided to they came down there. They were like, we want more money. Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Jeez. See, guys, this is why there's no wrestling in New Mexico, because the athletic commission is wanting a lot of money.
Yep.
And it's a sad thing because, as I've said, week in, week out, there's a lot of great talent here in New Mexico, and they're having to go to Arizona, Texas, Colorado to wrestle. But that's definitely crazy. So you kind of got started right away. You had an awesome. How was it as far as you've only been wrestling for a little bit at that point?
Yeah.
I knew you guys were on a large scale. You guys weren't on USA or Spike or anything like that.
Yeah.
But how was it as far as being on TV, having that kind of publicity, even with the alibi and stuff?
It was pretty cool. Like, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We did a show at the Balloon Fiesta Park once.
Oh, cool.
Like, tons of kids. Like, it was crazy. I just remember I was working. I was doing deliveries then, and I went to a house, and a kid that had watched this wrestle, he was like, Daddy, he's a wrestler.
Oh, really?
And the dad was like, no, be quiet, go to your room.
Yeah.
And he came out with I guess it was a little helmet that I signed. And
oh,
I was like,
really?
See, look.
Oh,
and
no way.
I was like, yeah, I signed that.
That's me.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Do you get kind of like now? Do you get recognized with you being a wrestler for a while now? Have you been recognized a lot of just random places and stuff, grocery stores, stuff like that?
Every now and then.
Not
too much, just because we don't wrestle in this state.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I know obviously a lot of people know and talk about it because training is very important.
Yes.
And you're a great example of that. You're one of New Mexico's top trainers. I would say you and Mosh Pit Mike are guys who seem to get a lot of talent to train. What was it that decided you to say, okay, I want to do this. I want to start training guys?
I actually never even decided that.
Like, you're kind of people just started showing up.
Yeah, like because I have a ring.
Okay.
And when Dylan Stone left, when he got injured, Nick Tendo had just started training.
With him?
He's my very first trainee.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I was like, crap, someone needs to train him, so I took over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I pretty much took over the training.
Oh, nice.
Because it was Dylan Stone that was running everything. He was doing all the training and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I just took over.
Okay. As far as once everything kind of went south with All-Star Wrestling, that's kind of when you stepped in and started training.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
And did you buy your own ring, or did you?
We actually built it.
Oh, did you really?
One of our friends is a master welder, and we just we had all the specs for a ring.
Okay.
So we just bought everything. We figured it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And we saved a ton of money.
Oh, I'm sure. So is the ring actually in your backyard? Do you train at your house or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. So you kind of got thrown into training. Has it been as far as something you enjoy now that you've been doing it for a little bit?
Yeah. I like teaching people.
Nice.
It's fun.
Especially doing things the right way, of course. And now you've today again you started with Nick Tendo. And how many trainees would you say from him to now? How many guys have you trained?
Oh wow. Well, we've had a lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people show up, but nobody makes it.
Yeah.
Out of all those people, there's only been 2 that have stuck with it.
Oh wow, Nick Tendo being one and the other one.
Nick Tendo and Ryan Dean.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're pretty much the only ones. I have another trainee. He's been there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still trying to get up there. But yeah, like just 3 of them. That's it. Oh
wow.
Yeah, one time I got 15 people to show up.
To training?
Yeah, I posted up it was an ad on Craigslist.
Okay.
For training, and yeah, I had 15 people show up.
Nice. Just from that ad on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Wow.
They all showed up one day and they all left.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Didn't come back for day 2?
Yes. Yeah.
What would you say is the most important thing for anybody who's listening to this and wanting to potentially pursue this and contact you to be trained? What would you recommend they do before they contact you? I mean, as far as being in shape, anything like that?
Well, definitely get the cardio up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we train hard. What I tell everyone is don't get discouraged because you see frickin' Nick Tendo doing double backflips and stuff. Doing all kinds of cool stuff, yeah. Because that's what would happen a lot. We'd get some people that they they would show up and they'd be doing working on the basics and stuff, and these other guys are over here working on cool moves and stuff.
Right.
And they would be like, when do I get to do that?
Yeah, they just want to jump right to the shooting star presses.
Yeah. And it's like, no.
Yeah, it's a slow process.
Learn the basics first.
Jeez. So so I'm sure that happens quite a bit. So all those you had a bunch of people show up.
Oh yeah.
Didn't show up for day 2. And I'm sure you see that. You've probably seen that on and off since you've been training.
Definitely.
And Nick Tendo, I have seen Nick Tendo wrestle quite a bit. Great talent. I really like Nick Tendo. I'm glad that he's coming back because I know we'll talk about that a little bit later. And Ryan Dean, don't really know too much about him, but again, I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. So it seems like obviously you're doing a great job at your job and training. As far as, well, we actually have a very good fan question. It's not really a question. It's from Karen, who sends us questions quite a bit. And she just wants you guys to know, as far as yourself, Mosh Pit Mike, the other trainers out there, that she definitely respects everything you guys do. Her thing is she thinks there's a lot of misconception as far as from the wrestling community, as far as fans that always say, oh, I want to train, I want to do this. They don't realize how difficult it is. So what she would like for you to do is just to explain exactly what it takes for people to get into this business, break into it, and have a career in doing it.
Well, it's definitely really hard. It takes a toll on your body. Luckily, I haven't gotten hurt that bad.
Nice.
Broken my toes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff like that. But yeah, like your body isn't. We're not built to fall flat on our backs. It's just it takes a toll. Like you gotta suck it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially doing it multiple times, you know, over and over. You know, like you guys do it. You do it pretty much multiple times a month. You know, every Saturday or Sunday or Friday. And I think a lot of people just don't realize the kind of dedication it takes because I'm sure you know the way you came up is it does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of money too, I'm sure.
Yes.
And a lot of people, like we said, just want to go in there, start doing shooting star presses.
Yeah.
Think it's a fast track. They're going to go to WWE right away. And unfortunately, it's not that easy. So I know you've got a lot going on as far as your career. Now you're kind of on a regular, getting bookings just about every weekend.
Yeah.
I know that you're wrestling for AWF out in Arizona.
Yes.
That's a fairly new promotion,
new,
right?
Yeah. Almost a year now they've been running.
Nice. Do they run? Where out in Arizona do they run?
Peoria.
Oh, okay. How far of a drive is that from Albuquerque?
6 to 7 hours, depending who's driving.
And usually, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, is whenever there's a show outside of New Mexico, usually you guys take a car full of talent. And I know normally you travel with guys. You usually travel with your trainees. Usually, I know Ryan Dean,
Nick Tendo, when he's actually wrestling. Danny G.
Okay.
He's a big one. He's always with us. Rocky Penasco too.
Oh, okay. And this is usually the group that you travel with as far as, you know, whenever you get bookings, whether it be in Arizona or Texas. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
And so AWF, I don't really know too much about them. As far as their crowd size, is it pretty good?
It keeps growing.
Is it really?
Every show gets better and better.
Nice.
It's nice.
That's great. And I know you also wrestle in San Antonio.
Yeah, I've wrestled in San Antonio, all the way down to Corpus Christi.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit of a further drive.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's all weekend. And of course, coming up this weekend, or next weekend, I should say, you've got a huge show coming up in El Paso.
Yes. We've got a big title match coming up. Myself and Ryan Dean against Nick Tendo and Rocky Penasco.
The returning Nick Tendo, who's been out. He's been out for roughly about the last almost 2 years, a year and a half or so.
No, about a year.
Has it been a year?
Yeah, it's been a year. Seems like it's just been on and off.
Oh, okay. Nice. He's still obviously he's getting back to it. He stopped for a little bit. Glad to see him back because again, I saw him wrestle a few times for DWO. Think he's a great talent. So you guys are going for the tag team titles. Again, Devil's Rejects, Deans of Chaos, yourself and Ryan Dean are taking on Rocky Penasco Jr. and Nick Tendo. I think that'll be a very good match. And for people who don't know, obviously it sounds like a lot of guys are going to be going to the show from Albuquerque. It sounds like a lot of the New Mexico wrestling community. I think Aubron's going and Karen. So hopefully if you guys have nothing to do this weekend, and you guys always talk about how you want to go to wrestling shows, support indie wrestling, go down to El Paso. How long is the drive?
It's only 4 hours from Albuquerque.
4 hours from Albuquerque. Some of you guys who live outside of Albuquerque, like Aubron, sorry, bro, you're going to have to drive a little bit further.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure it'll be worth it. This is a great show, it looks like. A lot of great talent. And there's also going to be guys from Arizona at this show. You guys know Don Vitale, Shadow Fox, Lucha Star all going to be there. Plus, the main event is featuring the XCW Heavyweight Champion Hurricane Hector, and he's taking on, drumroll please, he's taking on Deuce Snuka, the son of legendary Jimmy Snuka, former tag team champion of WWE. So that's huge, man. Yeah. Being able to perform, I'm sure for you, on a show with him, being in WWE for quite a bit.
Yes.
So I'm sure whenever you do go to these shows and you have guys like Deuce Snuka or somebody else who's kind of gone far, do you get a chance to talk to them, get any advice, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm always asking questions. Like I tell everyone, you never stop learning.
That's great.
You always learn something new.
Oh, yeah.
And always ask questions. Like, after all my matches, I ask everyone, like, did you watch my match? What'd you think?
Yeah.
What can I work on? Stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And one thing that I learned from you whenever you started wrestling, when I first saw you wrestle a match, when you see Super Chaos, he's a big guy. Like, you think he's going to be a big powerhouse dude, which you are, but at the same time, dude, you move like a cruiserweight. And again, I guess that goes back to you liking Eddie Guerrero when you were growing up. And I think it's great, man. I see you do stuff that I don't see a lot of big guys do. A lot of guys smaller than you, I don't see them do, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cool. Did you make sure to put that kind of moves in your arsenal? Just again out of respect for those guys you grew up watching?
Actually, I started doing them because there was a guy that he told me, he's like, yeah, watch this video. It was a video of Hayabusa.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, wow, that's cool. I want to learn how to do that stuff. And this guy tells me, he's like, oh, don't worry, you'll never be able to do that stuff. And I was like, okay.
Really?
So, yeah, that's what motivated me to actually do all that stuff.
Nice. And it's great, man. One of my favorite matches. Again, I haven't seen a lot of your matches live, but the match you had against Awesome Andy back at the last DWO show here in Albuquerque was really great, man. I enjoyed it. The fans enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And as far as you, was that the first time you'd wrestled Andy?
Oh, no. I've wrestled him, like, so many times. Yeah.
So you guys have had such a good repertoire with each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of just second nature going out there and wrestling.
We went out there, like, we've tagged together, tagged against each other, triple threats, everything, man.
Nice. Very cool. And I know we have one question from our good friend Kyle. He actually has a couple questions, so we're gonna throw these out to you. Staying on the track of matches, what's your favorite match that you've ever actually wrestled in?
The very first match I ever wrestled for XCW, it was a triple threat match. It was myself versus Dylan Stone versus Johnny Encore.
Oh, okay.
It was the very first match of their show.
Oh, was it?
The very first show, and it was the very first match. So we definitely had to bring everything.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a great match.
Was that one of your earlier matches?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Nice. And he has a second part to this question. He wants to know who your favorite opponent is.
My favorite
in your
opponent.
7 years of wrestling.
Definitely, Awesome Andy's always great. He always brings out the best in me. Danny G.
Okay.
Same thing. Dylan Stone.
Oh, okay.
They always push me to my limits, you know.
Oh, wow, cool. Do you have anybody that you haven't wrestled as far as here in Albuquerque or any talent from Arizona that we might know, or Texas? Is there anybody that you haven't wrestled, haven't been in a ring with, maybe even just a one-on-one match that you'd like to wrestle?
Oh, I would love to work with Cassandra.
Yeah.
I've been in training with him.
Oh, have you?
And I've seen him wrestle and stuff. Been in shows with him, but yeah, I've never gotten to wrestle with him.
Oh, nice.
Him and Magnum.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with Magno.
Yeah, he was Magnum was he was actually just on TNA, the Gut Check.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he wrestled Adam Pearce. A few months back.
Oh, okay, cool. Cassandra's great, man.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he has such a great gimmick. If you guys don't know who Cassandra Exotico is, YouTube him. You will definitely not be disappointed. He's entertaining, and we had him a few times at DWO show, and the crowd, not knowing who he was, the crowd just went crazy for him. Great talent. He does such cool moves, and definitely love seeing that guy perform for sure. So you've done so much, man. If you guys want to hit up Super Chaos as far as training, anything like that, where can they contact you? What would be the best way?
Just message me on Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah, that'd be the best way. I always get back to everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, I always try to give everyone a shot. I mean, I've had people go and I'm like somebody there will be like, oh, I don't think this person's gonna make it, whatever. And
yeah.
I'm like, I give everyone a shot, man. Like, if you have the heart to do it, just I'll let you come train, man.
Nice. There you guys go. Open invitation from Super Chaos, one of New Mexico's best trainers. You guys have it right here on Ring Awareness. Hit him up on Facebook. I know you also have a Twitter, and obviously Facebook will probably be the easiest way to contact you.
Definitely.
But you guys want to train. You guys talk about training, and here's your open invitation from Super Chaos to do so. And it should be a great experience, like I said, between him and Moshpit Mike. These are two guys you want to learn from. So take advantage of it while the offer is still available, and while he's still training. So let's take a step back, and let's talk about some WWE news. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Obviously, we're heading into WrestleMania season, and actually, before we start that, while we're on New Mexico wrestlers and everything, in case you guys missed it this last Monday on Raw, who was one of the cops who went after Daniel Bryan? It was none other than Awesome Andy, New Mexico's own. You being a good friend of Andy's, how cool was it seeing him on TV?
Oh, it's always awesome seeing him up there, man. I'm just like, I'm waiting for them to pick him up already, man. Like, yeah, like I've always said, yeah, he's gonna be there like soon.
Oh yeah, he's a great talent, man. He's been everywhere. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like he's right on the cusp of really doing something huge. And I know just between even TNA or WWE, ROH, you know, it is a wonder that he hasn't been picked up. But I think I think it'll be happening soon, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's really cool to see him. I knew right away when I saw the cops come out on Raw, and I kind of got a glimpse really quick, and I was like, I think that was Awesome Andy. And sure enough, when he's in the ring and he throws the cuffs on DB, it's like, oh, it is. That's cool. Have you talked to him since that?
Yeah, I text him like after the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he one of those guys who he doesn't seem like he's one of the dudes who like really likes to brag about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
definitely appreciative of the experience and everything. I'm sure he's learned a lot, man. If you guys don't know Awesome Andy and you're living in New Mexico, really. But and obviously he's done a lot for WWE. I know he was one of the John Cena's during WrestleMania, and he also he wrestled a match against Kofi Kingston about 2 years ago on I think it was Superstars. Really cool. You guys need to look up Awesome Andy if you guys don't know, which I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knows who Awesome Andy is. So WrestleMania's coming up, man. Are you excited this year? It's a big big anniversary for the event. What are your thoughts going into the show in general?
You know what? I haven't really been keeping up with it.
Okay.
But like my kids watch it. I want to check out the Undertaker match.
Of course, you got to see. What, he's 22-0 now, I think. 22-0.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So he's taking on Brock Lesnar. It'll be a weird matchup. I hope Brock Lesnar doesn't kill him. Pretty much just because Brock, it seems like he's just kind of a brawler now, you know?
Yeah, I think he has brain damage.
Who knows? You know, he did
Yeah.
MMA for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, every year it seems like no matter. I mean, there's some wrestlers out there, as far as here in New Mexico, that don't watch WWE at all. They'll keep up with it,
Mm-hmm.
but WrestleMania comes around and they make sure that they always
Oh,
watch WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you, do you watch the product quite often, or kind of when it's on, if you're not doing anything?
Yeah, most of the times when Raw is on, I'm at the gym,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't really watch it. I'll get the end of it when I get home.
Yeah.
So I'll watch the end. So I know about Undertaker and Daniel Bryan and Triple H. So
Yeah, you kind of got the whole like
yeah.
gist of it. And of course, we've got the huge announcement this week is that obviously Daniel Bryan is taking on Triple H. I think that's gonna be a huge match.
Yeah,
I think that's
gonna be an awesome match.
I think so too. I'm very excited for it, and I'm not a huge Triple H fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he has good matches,
Yeah.
and it's something new. It's not, you know, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar from the last year kind of seemed kind of
Yeah.
but this year it's something new.
Mm-hmm.
And to my knowledge, I don't think they've ever wrestled one-on-one.
Mm-mm.
So we'll see what happens in that one. The winner, of course, going into that main event for the WWE Championship between Orton and Batista.
Mm-hmm.
As a wrestler, what have you taken from Batista's return? Have you been able to catch quite a bit?
No, not really. I just heard all the booing.
Did you watch the Rumble?
I caught some highlights of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I just seen when he won, like the crowd was pissed.
When Psycho.
Yeah.
That was great. I think I think they definitely needed to do something to that main event, because I think if they would have left it as Orton and Batista, I think that people would have probably, well, they definitely wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah.
Because obviously Orton's not liked, Batista's hated because he's not Bryan or Punk, and I'm glad that they're making a change to it. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll see Bryan win that match. It seems pretty apparent. I doubt they'll give Triple H.
You never know.
You do never know. It could just be a big FU to everybody, and they'll put Triple H in a match. If Triple H ends WrestleMania 30 as WWE champion, I think I may riot. But one thing with Batista's return is that you mentioned having great cardio, conditioning, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. He's been like blown up.
Oh yeah. You can...
in his matches. I think they've been putting him in tag team matches on purpose, and just the Rumble. I don't think he was in the Rumble very long, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, and he was just blown up, man. His match against Del Rio at the Nets pay-per-view, blown up.
Yeah, I heard about those.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's been interesting for sure. We'll see what happens. WrestleMania's coming up here in a couple weeks, and you'll be watching on the WWE Network.
Oh, definitely.
Which we both definitely love. One thing I want to ask you about is, as far as the Hall of Fame this year, there's a huge class going in. Right now it's a great class, I think. Is there somebody in particular that you're excited to see go in, as far as the announced names?
Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Long overdue, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think between him and Warrior, those guys have been deserving of it for quite a bit. And I heard that there's rumors of Scott Hall going in, which you being a fan from the late 90s and stuff, what are your thoughts as far as Scott Hall possibly going into the Hall of Fame?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's it's definitely surprising. I didn't think he would go in just with his kind of behind the scenes how do you say what's the word I'm looking for? Behind the scenes shenanigans, I'll say.
Yeah.
That he would go, I mean, you eventually probably go in, but I thought he would go in maybe as like if they inducted the NWO as a group with like Hogan, Nash, and Hall. But it'll be cool to see him go in for sure. I think he's deserving. It seems like he's cleaned up his career and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not wrestling anymore, which is probably a good thing. But we'll see what happens as he goes possibly into the Hall of Fame. I always kind of thought that Kevin Nash would go in before him.
Yeah.
because he always seemed like Nash and Hall, not Hall and Nash, but whatever. Or the Outsiders going in as a tag team. I think that would be cool too.
Yeah.
I think they were a notable tag team for a little bit there in WCW. So a lot of cool stuff going in WWE. TNA, do you watch any TNA?
Every now and then.
Uh-huh.
I'll catch TNA.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think of as far as their product compared to WWE? It seems like they have a lot of great talent, but why do you think they're just not? It seems like they're kind of in the decline.
Yeah, like I remember it was like 2007, 2008. They were real big. They had some amazing shows, and
yeah,
like now it's just been dying out.
Right. Would you credit that to whenever they brought in like Bischoff and Hogan?
That's like around the time it started declining.
Yeah. It seems like they just immediately tried to compete with WWE because they quickly moved to Monday nights, and they brought in, Flair. They brought in Jeff Hardy. They brought him back. It seems like right away they were just like, all right, here we are. We're going to compete with WWE like right out the gate.
They got rid of the six-sided ring.
Yeah, dude, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Have you wrestled inside a six-sided?
Yes.
How different is that?
It's awesome. I love it.
Is
more stuff to do.
Oh, is it really?
More corners to jump off of, more ropes and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
One thing I totally forgot about this I wanted to bring up is you were actually involved with Lucha Libre USA when they ran shows here in New Mexico. They ran shows in Isleta.
Yes.
It was about a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, a straight year. Yeah.
How was it? How did you get involved as far as doing that?
Well, Awesome Andy was wrestling for them.
Oh, okay.
And he got me and Danny G in.
Did he really?
Yeah, we started reffing. It was cool. It was different. It was cool to see how much work goes into putting something on TV.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Nice. And as you said, I know that you said you ask a lot of questions and stuff. Were you learning a lot of stuff from the talents there? Because they had a lot of cool talents. They had, I know they brought in like Stevie Richards and Hurricane. Did you get a contact or actually talk with some of these guys?
Oh, yeah.
Get some advice?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. Petey Williams, Jay Lethal.
Nice.
Was it Paul Linden?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was a real cool guy. Yeah.
So who was what exactly were your duties as far as doing? Because you didn't wrestle for Lucha Libre, but what would be your stuff that you would do behind the scenes in front of camera?
Just help around. They had me doing the ring bell.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, ringing the bell. Just helping out back there. We actually would flyer up all over the place.
Oh, really? All over Albuquerque and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And you actually did get a ref a few matches. So I know you've been on TV. So you've been wrestling for 7 years. You've already been on public access and you've been on MTV. Not as a wrestler, but still, it's pretty cool. Did you actually get to check out the show? And obviously, you saw everything behind the scenes. How was it watching the show? From home. They didn't do it live.
No, it wasn't live.
Okay.
I've actually only watched one episode, and I wasn't even on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I've never even seen myself on TV.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
I've seen pictures and stuff, but yeah, I've never watched it.
Nice. And that was back about 2000. That was only a few years ago, right?
Yeah, it was only a few years.
2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Nice. Unfortunately, Lucha Libre, they only ran for I think a year or so. But the crowds were pretty good. You guys were getting pretty decent crowds.
It would get sold out.
I remember I tried to go to the first show, and I think it did get sold out, which was a bummer. So we just gambled instead. Yeah. But still, I guess that's a benefit of pulling a show in a casino. Super Chaos Man, dude. Gotta thank you for taking the time. Again, I know you got a busy weekend, or it's rare that you have a free weekend.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you took the time to talk to me here on Ring Awareness. Again, guys, this guy is offering training to anybody who wants to come down and take the chance, get the experience. Again, you've heard what his take is on it. If you guys think you can measure up and try out with Super Chaos, he's definitely willing to train you. Again, contact information. Where can people get a hold of you best?
Look me up on Facebook. Yeah, send me a message. I'll get back to you.
Boom, he'll get back to you guys. You guys know how to contact him. Again, XCW is coming up next Saturday.
Yes.
And he is wrestling for the very first ever
tag team championship.
There you go. Him and Ryan Dean are taking on Rocky Penasco Jr. as well as the returning Nick Tendo next Saturday. It's only a 4-hour drive here from Albuquerque. You guys should definitely check it out. If not, it's gonna
be on iPay-per-view. So,
iPay-per-view,
so go to XCW's Facebook and all the information is right there.
Oh, there you go, guys. If you guys can't make it, you guys can check it out while it's gonna be live, right?
Yes.
While it's happening, that's
live.
Awesome. And that's a cool concept. So hopefully, a lot of people, if you guys can't make it, go check it out. See a few talent here from New Mexico, some of the great talent that we have, as well as, like I said, there's gonna be talent from Arizona and Texas, and Deuce Snuka, former WWE superstar. Again, Super Chaos, thank you so much, man. Hopefully we can have you on again soon, and we'll talk more about what's going on with you. Best of luck, man. And again, you guys, thank you so much for listening to Ring Awareness. If you guys want to learn more about the show, send me questions. If you guys want to be on this show, again, you know how to contact me. I have a Facebook page, plus I'm on Twitter at Ring Awareness. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you another 2 weeks with a full WrestleMania show. You guys have a good one. This is Adam Merrick signing off.